Are you a new preschool teacher whose class is out of control? Do you find that the children in your class are not following directions? Well, avoiding these classroom management mistakes can save you time, money, and stress. Today, I'll share 5 classroom management mistakes new teachers make, and after each mistake, I'll give you some tips to avoid them. Hi there, I'm Miss Celeste, your co-teacher and former classroom teacher, and I help new preschool and pre-K teachers develop systems and processes to alleviate overwhelm and create smooth running classrooms for a successful school year. Be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell to know every time I post a new video. Also, if you're looking for a community of new preschool and pre-K teachers to share your wins, your lessons learned, and also to get some tips and tricks, go ahead and join my Facebook community. The link is in the description. Now, let's get started. The first classroom management mistake new preschool teachers make is not spending enough time on routines and procedures. This is a common mistake because we want to get to the good stuff. We want to start teaching the themes and the content areas and all the concepts. Yes, we want to get to that good stuff, but it's super important to spend time on your routines and procedures because that is the backbone of your classroom management plan. When you teach them the routines and procedures and tell them how to do it and show them how to do it, then that saves you time in the long run. Then you can do those fun activities that you have planned, but you have to put the work in at the beginning in order to reap the benefits at the end. Ooh, that's a word. So if you're speeding past teaching your routines and procedures, stop and make sure that you get those done first. Let's go on to the second classroom management mistake new preschool teachers make, and that is ignoring transition times. So what are transition times? Those are the short periods of times in between activities or in between when you are moving your children from one area to another area. So if you're moving children from one area to another area, let's say in your classroom, you're sitting on a circle time rug and you say, okay, everybody, let's go to the tables. Well, then you can expect that transition to go super poorly and it'll be such a mess. Another way to have them move from one area to another is to have them pretend to be something like an animal. So you can say, oh, can you tiptoe to the table like a quiet cat, and other animals and characters like that. Or you can have them go by colors, so the colors that they're wearing. So you can say something like, oh, if you're wearing the color red, I would like you to quietly walk to the table. You can even do letters. So you can say, if your name begins with the letter H, I would like you to walk to the table. When you want to avoid a chaotic mess, make sure that you have a plan for those in-between times, whether it's something that you can just pull out, anytime you want, like a song or a chant, or just having the ideas of just sending them someplace by being a character or an animal or something that they're wearing. So let's go on to the third classroom management mistake new preschool teachers make, and that is relying on stickers and other incentives as your behavior management plan. Okay, so this is a big one. I've seen lots of new preschool teachers asking what kind of incentives other teachers are using, or even where do you get your treasure box goodies from. I caution you from doing this because you can become chained to this and you'll have to always rely on it to get what you want. Sometimes it will backfire because the children will no longer be doing things because it's expected of them. They'll just be doing it to earn something. They will make the connection that if I sit quietly on the rug, then I'll get a sticker. Well, what happens when you run out of stickers? What happens if you don't have any stickers? What happens if the sticker that you give to a child or the treasure box goodie that you give to a child is something that they don't like? Not only that, but there are some children who do not care about stickers. They are not affected one way or another, so they do not care about your little stickers. So what do you do then? Do you go out to the store and buy something else for this child? Where does it end? So my tip for this one would be to make sure that your classroom management pillars are set and firm. For instance, your expectations and your rules, your routines and procedures, your classroom environment, the relationships that you're building, and all the rest. Once you do that, the need for any kind of extrinsic incentive goes away. I'm on a roll here. This is some good stuff. If you are finding value in this, please go ahead and like this video. Let's move on to the fourth classroom management mistake new preschool teachers make, and that is assuming children understand what you mean. Sometimes teachers will give the children a command of some sort, and then the child does what they think it means, and it is not nearly what the teacher meant. Sometimes it's because the directions are unclear, but sometimes it's because the children just don't understand what you mean. So don't assume that, one, if you explain to a child how to use something, that they understand how to use that something. And two, don't assume that just because you've told children the rules of an area in your room, for instance, one of your centers, that they know what you mean and how to behave in that area. So here's the tip. Show them how you want something. Show them what you want. Demonstrate it, and then have them demonstrate it with you. And then that way, they're not only hearing and seeing, but they're also doing it. Okay, on to the fifth classroom management mistake new preschool teachers make, and that is not paying attention to the classroom environment. Do you wonder why the children in the class are running around even though you have constantly told them walking feet? Or do you wonder why materials in the centers are not being put back properly? Or why children are getting into arguments in certain areas of the classroom? Maybe it's the environment. For instance, if the children are running after repeatedly telling them walking feet, maybe see if there's a large space in your room that is kind of inviting them to run. Or for the materials that are not being put back properly, is it because the containers and the shelves are not labeled with pictures and words? And for the arguments that are happening in centers, is it because there's not enough materials in the center, or is it because maybe the center is too small for the amount of children that are in there? I often say that the environment is really important, and that a lot of the problems that the children face in the classroom can be solved by just fixing the environment. So here's the tip. Take a look at your classroom from the child's point of view. And that could mean getting on your knees and actually looking at it as if you were the height of a child. And take a look. Are there things that the children are not able to get to on their own? Are they able to see where things belong? Are the pictures labeled nicely on the shelves? Are there things that shouldn't be out that are? So take a look around, and you may be surprised by what you see. So at this point, you understand that all these things that were mentioned are things that you should take into consideration when you are having troubles in your classroom. I hope that you are able to take what you need from this video and leave the rest, and that the issues that are going on in your classroom will no longer be a concern of yours. And if there's something else that you're struggling with in your classroom, go ahead and leave a comment at the bottom here so that maybe I can make a video on it. And if this was helpful, let me know and go ahead and like this video. I will see you soon. Bye.